If you want the lowest graphics in Fortnite Chapter 6, also known as potato graphics, well this is the video for you, as I'm going to showcase exactly how it's done. There's two main methods to do it, either using DirectX 11 or DirectX 12. With the first method, you will get slightly less FPS, but a way more playable game. And with the second method, you will get slightly more FPS, but a slightly less playable game in terms of glitchiness. Starting off with method 1, which is the exact config Martos used a couple of weeks ago. In the Epic Games library, find the three dots and go into your options. Inside the install options, you want to ensure that the DirectX 12 shaders option is selected, and don't forget to click apply. Once you've done that, you can launch the game up. When your game has loaded up, just head into the settings tab and ensure that you have actually got the DirectX 12 setting on. You'll know if it's been enabled because you'll get a lot more settings than you obviously can get with DirectX 11 or performance mode. But inside the DirectX 12 settings, ensure that you've got all these settings on low, especially things like textures, effects, post-processing, and shadows, as they mainly affect FPS. I like to keep everything on low, near, or off, but there's one setting you need to actually look for called Nanite Virtualized Geometry, and you want to make sure that this setting is on, as this is a setting that fixes the grounds being super buggy. Once you've done that, just ensure everything looks good and is all in order. You can then click apply. From there, you can open up Google and type in NVIDIA Profile Inspector. It should be the first one, which is a GitHub link by this user on screen. It should look just like this, and you should see under assets a zip file, which you can then download. Once you have downloaded it, you need to extract it by right-clicking on it and just clicking on extract all, then extract again, and then you'll have an application that you can put on your desktop or literally just open up. Once you've opened the application up, if you go to the top left where it says profiles, you want to type in Fortnite and just click on it like so. You'll know if it has worked if you see this green bar followed by a bunch of text that includes like the Fortnite launcher basically. But from there, if you scroll down to where it says free anti-aliasing, you want to look for a specific setting called anti-aliasing transparency super sampling, where it's off/on multi-sampling by default. You want to click on that drop down and make sure to select this one here where it's a bunch of 8 AA mode, replay mode all. From there, scroll down to texture filtering, where you want to find the LOD bias, DX, and a setting below. But for the first one, where it says DX, you want to copy it all, delete it, and then paste in this, which I'll have in the description below. You also want to do the same thing with the one just below it, so copy it, delete it, and paste it in. You should have matching ones like so on screen. And then for the final thing, you want to go onto texture quality. By default, it is on quality. We want to change that to high quality. After that, you can go to the top right corner and apply the changes. Now, if you launch the game, you'll notice straight away if it has worked, if your character looks like Play-Doh. Another thing you'll notice as well in the battle bus, looking at the entire map, you can see how good these floors look with that DirectX 12 Nanite setting. The water as well looks really good on DirectX 12. You can see there doesn't really seem to be much glitchiness at all. Moving on to method 2, you want to open up the NVIDIA Profile Inspector. Like always, head to the top left, type in Fortnite and select the game. And inside here, we're only going to be changing like 2 settings. You want to keep the anti-aliasing transparency super sampling the same, so make sure it's on this. Same with the texture filtering quality, make sure it's on high quality. But for the DX and OGL, we're going to change these. These are going to be new settings with the DirectX 11. So what you want to do is select the drop down and you want to look for something called plus 3000 like so, and you want to do the same with the other one. It's all the way at the bottom. There it is there. But once you've got all of these settings set up like this, you want to click apply changes and open the game. Once in game, head into your settings and ensure that the rendering mode is on performance mode, as we want the most FPS possible. And just scrolling down, make sure you've got the rest of the settings on low. Once the map has all rendered in though, it should be super smooth. The FPS on this one is a lot better in my opinion. To be fair, it was still good on the DirectX 12. It's just sometimes you get little hitches, but once I do land, I'll show you the ground difference. You can just see already actually how glitchy it is, but for some people they can still play on this. I personally can't. That's why if I do play potato graphics, I prefer the Nanite setting being enabled. But yeah, this is what the textures look like on DX11. Overall, I prefer the DirectX 12 one, as it just fixes the unplayable things such as glitchy floors / terrain, the buggy map where it shows us a bunch of squares, although it did used to be a lot worse a few seasons ago, and the 2D mountains / hills. Overall, DX12 is just way more playable, but please let me know in the comments below what settings you use for potato graphics, as I know there's a bunch of different combos out there. Another thing as well to end the video, if you do want to revert back or get rid of potato graphics, just open up the NVIDIA profile inspector, head to the top left, type in the game, so Fortnite, make sure it's selected. Then all you want to do is click this button right here, which will basically restore all the settings that we changed before back to default, and that's how you get back to the normal graphics. Just don't forget to click apply in the top right corner. If this video helped out, feel free to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel. And before you do go, feel free to check out any of my other videos on screen right now.